Good afternoon, everyone. We are happy to be with you all today on this beautiful afternoon. I am joined by Councilmember Eric Costello, our City Administrator Chris Shorter, and Shalonda Stokes, President of the Downtown Partnership. Around this time last year, the city launched the outdoor dining, street closure, and outdoor seating relief programs in response to the COVID pandemic. These programs were established to allow restaurants to request permission to offer outdoor dining accommodation in the city's public right-of-way. Today, I'm excited to announce that we will be extending these programs for establishments such as Marie Louise Bistro across the city of Baltimore. We know that our small businesses and restaurants are the backbone of our city and our economy, employing our residents, but also providing some of that deep, rich culture that we love here in Baltimore. The outdoor dining, street closure, and outdoor seating relief programs are great ways for Baltimore restaurants to expand their capacity outdoors while offering a safe, enjoyable dining experience for patrons. These programs have been great for our businesses and communities, and I am glad to see them continue and grow. I want to now turn it over to Councilman Costello to offer some additional information about the programs and about how restaurants can apply. Mr. Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a pleasure to be here today. First, I want to thank Mayor Scott for his leadership and truly understanding the importance of these programs and the impact that they have on our communities and on our small businesses, just like Spirits of Mount Vernon and Marie Louise Bistro. The outdoor dining street closure program, the outdoor seating relief program, as well as design for distancing program out of Baltimore Development Corporation. All of those programs are currently active. Our restaurants throughout the city, throughout every neighborhood can apply. These programs are a matter of right. We've waived or rebated all fees associated with these so that we can do exactly what you see here today, activate the street and have more folks out in the community. And of course, this work wouldn't be possible without strong partners like Shalonda Stokes from the Downtown Partnership, Kristen Speaker from the Historic Charles Street Corporation, Michelle Richter, Mount Vernon Belvedere Association, Nan Rohr, Midtown Community Benefits District, and so many other community and business groups from across the city. So with that, again, I want to thank Mayor Scott. I can't overstress the importance of this program. This program has helped power our restaurants throughout the pandemic as we looked at increased restrictions, but more importantly, it positions our restaurants and our small business community to truly drive the economic recovery that we're going to see in Baltimore City. So thank you, Mayor Scott. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to President and CEO of the Downtown Partnership, Shalonda Stokes.
Thank you, Councilman Costello. Mayor Scott, I cannot thank you enough for extending this effort, and Administrator Shorter, appreciate the partnership. If there was a bright spot in last year, it was our communities and our city government working together for the betterment of the small business community. The willingness to transform public realm into open air spaces that could be used by people to safely gather, exercise, and dine with social distancing. We know that this is particularly useful in an area like Charles Street, where there aren't as many patio spaces or wide sidewalks. And we know, just a little plug for this weekend, we'll end up closing 14 blocks of Charles Street for the Charles Street Promenade. The pandemic showed us what was possible. Mayor Scott, your administration, in continuing this effort, shows your commitment to business, so we thank you. Just a bit more information on how they can apply. Restaurants seeking a permit for outdoor seating can apply online with the Baltimore City Department of Housing and Community Development, and restaurants seeking a permit requiring partial or full street closures and or closure of parking lanes for the purpose of outdoor dining should apply with the Baltimore City Department of Transportation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shalonda. I want to thank the great folks like Councilman Costello and Shalonda who have remained champions for our business throughout this pandemic and who continue to fight on behalf of everyone, including our businesses throughout this recovery process. We'd also like to say that we were joined this afternoon by our Deputy Mayor for Neighborhood and Economic Development, Ted Carter. And with that, we'll take a few questions.
Mayor, do you know what this means for the current permits that are already in use? Because I know there was a date where they expired. What does it mean for that expiration date?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Dave. What we'll be doing is working to work with all of those who have it to figure out how we can extend them as we extend their program to make sure that places that already have this don't see it go away. And this is about, of course, again, about extending and expanding this, and as Shalonda said so eloquently, something positive that came out of the pandemic that we don't want to see go away. Hold on. I can't hear you, Alexa. It's another one right behind it. All right, go ahead, Alexa. Sorry about that.
No, I appreciate it. Regarding restrictions, yesterday the Orioles, a spokesman with the Orioles said they hope to have more information or an announcement later this week regarding capacity. Does this mean the city plans to further ease restrictions such as capacity and the indoor mask mandate? And if you will, the science behind your answer?
So we've already eased restrictions for places like Camden Yards. That's already. We said to you the other day, the indoor mask mandate, we have a target with our vaccinations, and that will stay the same. But I know that our health commissioner has spoken to the Orioles about them wanting to increase their capacity, and as they did before in a very responsible way, we will work with them to make sure that they can do whatever they need to do within the parameters of where we are today. But I have no worries that the Orioles and the health department won't come to agreement about how to responsibly increase their capacity.
This helps about the
Yes.
Mayor, I have a crime-related question. There's a video circulating of a man being beaten in Canton Sunday night on O'Donnell Street. Have you seen that? And if so, your reaction?
Haven't seen it yet, and we'll get back to you after I see it. But anytime someone's beating, we know that's not acceptable for anybody to go through that. Thank you.
Mayor, getting back to this, we've done a story about some businesses that were having issue with their minor privilege permits and having to pay those. How does this play into the minor privilege permits, or does it? And maybe you can just
Yeah, we know there's been a lot of confusion. I will let the administrator and Ted talk about the work that we're doing to make sure that that confusion goes away. So that we clear up that confusion to make sure that folks are not paying for things that they shouldn't, but also that they're able to take advantage of these kind of permits and situations.
And then does this mean that if somebody has outdoor seating, can they expand into the street as well?
I heard you.
Yeah.
I actually let Shalonda and the team answer that portion of the question.
Yeah, so the outdoor dining street closure program, that leg of it is where you're standing in a parklet where a parking lane can be converted to be utilized for table service. The outdoor seating relief program, that's the piece that you see right here on the sidewalk. And then the design for distancing, which is the third leg of it out of BDC, that's the larger street closures you might see around Cross Street Market or in Fells Point.
And all three are being expanded until further notice.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey there, I have a question. I think the part that's a bit popular with restaurants, there unfortunately were a couple of instances last year where cars crashed into them. Is traffic safety a concern for you? And what do you feel about it?
Well, listen, traffic safety and safety for folks who are either walking, running, biking, driving is a concern all the time. And we know that you hear from the Department of Transportation, and you can see in from the police department about throughout the pandemic how we've seen accidents and things rise. We have been through our Complete Streets Manual working to figure out ways to build and construct our streets that make everyone safer that uses them, drivers, but also considering things like this. That's something that we're going to work on both in the short and the long term. Thank you.
Talking to restaurants who already have these parklets, a lot of them want to know, what does this mean, again, about the expiration date? Because originally, the areas have to be inspected by the city to make sure they're safe. So, of those permits that have already been issued are working, are they going to be re-inspected inspected because that deadline for expiration is coming up?
So this is about making sure that those that have it can continue it. If they are expanding, then of course we're going to be inspecting because it's different than what already exists, and we want to see this go on for as long as possible. This is something that personally I think that we should figure out ways to do forever, because we can see thriving cities around the country that have these things consistently all the time. Thank you, everybody.